Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lazy Cat Reactions. This is the season 9 finale of Heartland, Resolutions. After their plans for a romantic getaway fall apart, Ty and Amy celebrate their first wedding anniversary at home, where Amy reveals some happy news. Which of course, as we know, is going to be that she's pregnant. Because as I said in the previous video, you can never have it go a while before characters have children. They've only been married a year and now she's going to be pregnant. Why couldn't they be married 3 years and then she'd be pregnant? What's the rush here on the show to have Amy be pregnant? The same thing that happened with Lou, because she and Peter got married at the end of season 3 and I'm pretty sure at the end of season 4 she had Katie. So that was pretty fast too. And that always happens. It's not just Heartland. Pretty much any show that's out there, if they get a couple together and get them married, it's like they get married and then by like the end of the next season, they're either having a baby or they're pregnant. You know, me personally, as I've said in a couple previous videos, I'm child-free. I'd like to see more child-free couples. I knew Amy and Ty were going to have a child when I started the show. I just wish that it could have been a little longer before the happy news, you know, because they only just got married at the end of season 8 and it talks about their first anniversary. So it's like, and they had even discussed in like 2 episodes prior that they did want to wait a bit. So, you know, I'm just thinking like, couldn't they have made it be season 11? Give them some time together. But again, that's me. Someone who's child-free, who doesn't have kids of her own, who would be happier to see couples together instead of throwing kids into the mix. We already have kids in the mix with Katie and with Georgie. Now there's going to be a third one. Anyways. Let's get started. At least they're letting them stay at the dude ranch. They just kind of nod at each other.
Look, I don't know what to do yet, okay? It's not an easy decision to make of this to work. But I'm honestly not sure it would. Not after all the water that's gone into that bridge.
Is this about Dad wanting to come home?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what this is about?
Sweetheart.
Then let him. Why can't you two get back together? You can make it work. I know you can.
I'm with Georgie.
Everything could go back to normal.
It's not that simple.
Then stop making it difficult and give it a chance.
Yeah. I'm with Georgie.
I'm going to untie the horses.
Georgie's right. It can be simple.
But
And you saved
if we hadn't
lives.
gone in when we did, all of those animals could have died. He has to understand that.
Actually, he doesn't.
Maybe will handle spirit, is he?
Your food. Amy's fallen in love with the guy, and I just gotta make sure he eats. Here, one more. There you go, bud.
Talk about taking these guys out of the frying pan and throwing them in the proverbial fire. Look at rescuing them from that petting you did. Put them in real danger.
It could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
They're all okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have died.
Look,
Adam's right. He is in charge of his own life, but he is still a minor. And his parents do still have a say. And it's one of those things, as long as you're under my roof, you'll live by my rules. So, yes, it is his life, but up to a point, you know. Until he has a job and can really make it on his own, they are still technically in charge of him. You know, do I agree with the whole thing about her being a bad influence? Well, he said yes, but he kind of likes that. And, you know, the dad obviously doesn't seem to care that he saved some random horses. And I would have been like, if that had been me, I would have been like, hey, I would much rather save the animals than a random person. Like, these horses needed to be saved. Those are lives too. How can you just blow that off? I would have kind of thrown it back on him, you know? So, I have a feeling Ty is going to get Amy Monty. He's going to buy Monty for her as an anniversary gift. I could be wrong, but since he said that she's fallen in love with him, I have a feeling that he's going to buy her Monty. You did it right this time.
Okay.
Phoenix is like, oh god, now I gotta deal with a second person on me.
So where are we going?
It's a surprise.
I don't want a surprise, Peter.
Just get in. Come on.
Like her boobs.
Make decisions.
What decision? I don't make any decisions.
Let's go for a drive. Oh, and this is where we're going to live. This is where we're going for dinner. Whatever.
The girls. Man, I'm gonna be closer to you guys. And I just realized without you guys, my whole life is just
Work.
I was being ripped apart. I'm so sorry.
But it was okay to date this woman
I just want to know if maybe we
in the meantime.
just put all that behind us.
Why didn't he, when she said lose the fanny pack, he could have, granted he wasn't expecting the horse to bolt, but he could have taken it out and put it in there. They're acting like it's such a big deal. And I'm like, it's really not. So he's diabetic. That's why he has insulin, it was kind of like this big reveal, what's wrong? I'm diabetic. And then it's like, and I'm just like, okay, so he's diabetic. You need to find the horse, get him his insulin, he'll be fine. But yeah, he does need that insulin because his blood sugar is dropped. So, excuse me. Lou said, I'm trying, with the whole thing about putting everything behind. And Peter was like, okay. That kind of placated him a bit. Because I think it's like, if you're trying, it's something. He's like, maybe I am too late, but I have to try. And I'm like, I like how he said that he's considering a house. And I'm thinking, well, one thing that could help is getting rid of your job. But at the same time, probably wouldn't be a good idea to do that if Lou isn't going to take you back. Because then you're out of a job and you're out of a wife. He was saying, seeing her ring there, he felt like he was being ripped apart. And I was like, but it was okay to have this girlfriend? Was it that you weren't that serious about it? And maybe that was the case, but then why did she have a key? That obviously took him, that was the kick in the ass that he needed, but still, it was like, did you not think about that before? Did you not think to yourself, what's this going to do if Lou finds out? I like how she told Peter that Georgie saw her. Because at that moment, Georgie realized, all right, Dad had moved on. And, she kind of encouraged Lou to move on. My ears twitching, hitting my head.
Come on, we gotta find you.
Oh, there he is.
Is it enough?
Well, it's gonna take a bit. It's gonna get into
Okay.
his bloodstream. one thing I see in shows is how impatient people are. You know, something happens, or, you know, maybe they're counting something down or whatnot, and it gets to the end of the countdown and like nothing happens, and then of course it's always delayed. I'm like, maybe we should expect that sometimes things are going to take a little longer. You know, like here, you know, he got the sugar, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Give it a minute." You know, like it might need to get into the bloodstream. It might take a little bit for it to work. You know, it's not like you just pop it in and you're better. So I'm like, don't be so impatient with that. You'll be fine, but just give it a minute. And like I said, the way Amy is acting, it's because her hormones are active, so she's emotional and getting worked up and everything. And, you know, she was saying, I just really wanted us to have some alone time. And I'm thinking, you have the alone time there. You know, you have dinner with the family, and then you go to your place there at the loft. Just, maybe they don't, I was going to say if they have a door, they could lock it. Maybe they don't have a door. But if they do have a door, lock the door. You could start a fire. They could, if they have a TV, they could watch the ball come down. You know, have some champagne, bring in the new year. And if they don't have a TV, well, you know, I'm sure they could figure something else out. But like, it will be okay. It may not have been your plans, but you get it figured out. Me, we don't go out on amateur night. You know, I am perfectly happy on New Year's Eve to just stay home, watch the ball come down, you know, in New York. Because if I'm home, I'm safe, I'm warm. You know, there is a thought that, oh, it'd be fun to be there in New York. Yeah, I probably would, but I've also heard that it's cold and they have like porta potties, and, you know, I think that it would kind of suck actually being there. I did have a former coworker who was there once at New Year's, and she kind of told us about it. But you know, it's like when you're home, you don't have to worry about that. You're not a hazard on the road. You can drink as much as you want, or as little as you want. You know, I'm home, I'm safe, I'm in my pajamas, I can have some snacks and do whatever. For some people that might seem incredibly boring, and that's fine. Maybe it is boring. But I'm boring. And I like that.
You would have killed me.
Wow. Sorry.
That's okay.
You wouldn't have known.
This is all my fault.
Mm-hmm. If they can be happy being together, and if they
How are you feeling
are
about
happy
that
being
jacket?
apart,
You should probably head back before it gets dark.
I think I'm good to go.
Good.
Thanks to you. You're a rock star.
tell your
Sit around
parents.
for the fire.
Tell your
There's no need for that.
No, I was selfish. And I really do want to help. So let me know what I can do.
There's nothing you really can do. Amy, I have to solve this for myself. And I haven't figured it out yet.
right. His father is a cop, isn't he? And it's funny. I paused this at 31:09, and there's 12:09 left to go. That's cafe the 09 and the 09. But you know, my thinking with Mitch is just move on. It's not like you guys were serious. You had a date, you shared a couple kisses. Move on, you know? She needs to make it work, or try to make it work with her husband. You know? You can tell Peter was happy about that. You could see him kind of smiling when, you know, he was talking about he'll bring champagne, because I think he felt like, you know, a little bit of a victory. And maybe it is too late, but as he said, he does have to try. Granted, I still think he should have thought about all that before dating that Sylvia. And my question is Sylvia really gone? Just because he says she is, does that mean she is? Hopefully. And you know, the thing is, with Bob, he's talking about how the poacher had threatened the kids, and he says, yeah, how long is he in jail for? And it's like, well, firstly, let the cops know that he threatened the kids. And secondly, tell the kids. Just let them know, hey, this is what happened. He's in jail. If he does get out of jail, you guys need to be alert. And maybe he's got some other people who could take care of it while he's in jail. But they can handle it. You know, sometimes I think we treat our kids like they're glass and fragile. You know, people are like, oh, well, I can't do this because, you know, my child needs to not know. And it's like, you know, kids are stronger than you think. You teach them something that's an adult, they usually handle it pretty well.
Red, I don't care where you were. You guys and the situation you have going on, I don't like it. And I told you, I don't want you two seeing each other. Understand?
She saved his life. Do you care at all about that?
No,
Hmm.
I don't understand. She found it for me, just in time. She's amazing
Mm-hmm.
and brave and totally awesome. I'm sorry, Dad, but Georgie and I are gonna hang out no matter what you say.
I'm trying to get Peter and I back together because you and Casey couldn't make a go of it. Or
Kind of. Put a coat on Amy.
Wow.
just for us. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, Monty sitting in that truck that whole time, being cold.
I have a gift for you too.
You do.
I do.
Okay.
You're gonna be a father.
What?
Told
Hey,
you.
Rudy.
Really? Wow.
That's why she's been so emotional lately. Like I said, I knew the happy news was going to be her mentioning about being a father. And it will be interesting though, because he did say that he did want to have kids, but later. And of course, now that it's their first anniversary, it's coming sooner than they expect. And, you know, Lou said she doesn't want to go backwards. And I'm like, you don't have to go backwards. You can move forward, but still move forward with Peter. You know? You can. You move forward from where you are. You know, she seems to like the idea of the single parent life. And obviously Peter was disappointed in that, which is understandable. But you know, it just seems to me that they could still make it work. That it wouldn't necessarily be moving backwards. What would be moving backwards is if they just decided to just forget everything that happened in the past and continue what they were doing, where Peter stayed in Vancouver and she stayed there at Heartland, that would be going backwards. But if they want to try to stay together, you take the knowledge that you learn and move forward from that. Peter changes his job, works hard to get Lou and the girls work his way back, and you move forward from there. And maybe you can build a stronger foundation than what you had before, especially if he's there. So, and I'm not writing the show, so I can't make that decision, so who knows what will happen. But I suspect that Mitch guy is going to be her new love. And I like how Peter was like, is it that Mitch? Because he knows. But I'm also kind of like, was Sylvia really out of the picture? Or was he just saying that? And then I also thought, yeah, great way to ring in the new year. Peter's going to wake up New Year's Day knowing that he is single and he's not going to get his wife back. Good finale. I like that some of the finales, of course, are cliffhangers, like the end of season 7 was the cliffhanger. And end of season 8 really wasn't. We knew it was the wedding and everything. So I like it that here at the end of season 9 it wasn't a cliffhanger. It was basically, we find out that Amy and Ty are going to be parents, and that's, in a way, that is kind of a cliffhanger, but also not. It's not that dramatic, like, oh, what's going to happen next season? Or like when Jack had his heart attack, and that was a cliffhanger. So I'll be starting season 10 here in a week or so. In America, as you can tell, it's close to Thanksgiving. So, at least at the time of this recording. So, at the time of this recording, happy Thanksgiving to everyone in America who celebrates. Or even in Canada. I know in Canada you celebrate this in October, so happy late Thanksgiving to you guys. And happy day, whatever the week it is that this goes up. If this goes up near Thanksgiving, awesome. If this goes up on a random Tuesday in June, then happy random Tuesday in June. Or whatever day it is. But, obviously, at the time of recording, I'm going to be taking a week off for Thanksgiving. And so I'll be starting season 10. So then you'll get to see some Christmas decorations for season 10, So whenever this goes up, you'll get to see some holidayness. So I kind of wish that I'd had Christmas decorations up now for the end of season 9 since I had it holidayish. But, hey, you never know. Like I said, I do wish that they had done another Christmas episode or a Christmas special later, like they did with the Heartland Christmas, but this helped a bit, It was nice seeing that they had Christmas trees up and some decorations and everything. And obviously, season 10 will start probably a little ways after that. So, thank you for joining me for this reaction. I hope you enjoyed it as I did. Hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with Lou's decision of letting things go with Peter. I don't think it was, but that's me. And if you don't agree with me, let me know, but keep it friendly. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. If you need an editor, please check out the link to my editor, Captain Factory. She is the one that makes these videos the way they are, so give her a look-see. And if you can, support me on Patreon or buy me a coffee. But if you can't, I understand. I'm just happy that you're here and that you joined me for the season 9 finale of Heartland. I've got, 6 seasons left to go, really. So much more story to tell. And I'm very excited to see that story play out. I love this show. I love this family. And I'm glad that I get to be a part of it. And I'm glad that you are here to join me on this journey. And hopefully it feels like the first time for you as it's the first time for me. I'll see you in my next videos.